Prashant John, or JP, as he prefers to be called.
PJ sounds bad.
So, JP designs and builds websites, apps and web applications. JP previously worked in ITS, events and PR fields respectively. When he's not working, he listens to music, reads or hops on his bike to get away from Bangalore, which all of us do, just that maybe most of us don't have bikes, or many of us don't have bikes. Coming to Chirantan, Chirantan has been working with a top multinational company for the past 6 years in various profiles ranging from consumer research, sales and branding. Chirantan has also worked as a journalist, loves to read and write, and in fact one of his short stories made it to Juggernaut's best short stories of the year 2017. Chirantan recently put down his papers and will be joining Interviewing India as a business partner later this month. Last but not the least, Sudha Bhatt is an assistant vice president with a leading global professional services company and leads the customer analytics products team. She creates and drives new-gen customer experience solutions for Fortune 500 clients. Sudha has been in the industry for close to 15 years. She's also a mother to a beautiful 7-year-old. JP, let me first start with you. So you had everything going on in your life. You were working in the corporate industry. You were also the youngest manager at that time. You had dreams of making it big, owning a car, owning a house, dreams like most of us have, and then something happened, something changed. What happened?
So it's a long story. I'm going to try and squeeze it in as short as I can. So at some point in time, I decided to take a break for some time. My then girlfriend, she moved to Trivandrum, so I also decided to move to Trivandrum. And at that point in time, there weren't many opportunities at my level in Trivandrum. And I said, to hell with it, I want to spend some time, being a beach bum, and running around the place. So I did that, came back to Bangalore, and then I found that given that I'd taken a break, people were a little, saying that, why did you take a break? And I'm like, I just wanted to relax for some time, and they weren't able to wrap their head around it. So I did a couple of interviews, started getting a little frustrated, and then when I met another friend, I got into events and public relations, and at that point in time I decided that I wanted to be the best, the same drive that I had from my previous job. I said, okay, I'm going to establish myself, this is going to be my own business, and I'm going to make something of myself, I want people to know who he is. And it resulted in me working sometimes like maybe 14, 16 hours. I take calls, when I barely, slept for like an hour or two, people would be calling me back and I'd be coordinating stuff. And one day, I was drinking quite a bit as well, so the side effect of everything saying that, oh, okay, I need to, and I had to schmooze and moose with people. So that went in from there. And one day, I don't know, it just came as a realization, is like, what am I doing with my life, am I really happy? And I realized I wasn't happy, I was trying to please everybody else around, not myself. And around the same time I decided, that I had enough of it. I gave up that entire thing, and then I got into creating websites and everything. But I realized that no more. I will work to make myself happy, to probably get enough money just to, do whatever usual rubbish I want to do. Either going for a concert, or, hanging out with friends, or, going on a bike journey, and nothing more than that. For me is, at some point in time, you need to ask yourself this question is, how much is enough? And if you're getting that much, at what cost? So that was a pivotal moment. It wasn't anything that, someone came and hit me in the head, and bang, that thing came in. It's just a little bit of introspection sometimes, and that hit me really hard.
It was a journey, so it was questioning yourself over a period of time.
Yes.
But I want to go back. Chirantan, you don't describe yourself as a very ambitious guy. Is that correct? But you work for 6 days a week. Your company requires you to work 6 days a week. You work for at least 12 hours. 12 hours a day. And because I know you personally, I know Monday to Saturday, you have no time for phone calls. So, is it because of the pay package that you held on to this job for such a long time?
See, I'll start from where JP left. He said that, typically when we work, we try to find happiness, all right? And the problem with me has been that I don't know what makes me happy. So when I was in engineering, at that time I took up a job at TCS, because at that time I thought that I'd be happy if I'd be with my friends, and I took up a job where they were taking up a job. And then I couldn't code, I just couldn't. And one of my friends pointed out that, you do write a lot and you blog a lot. So there's an opportunity at a newspaper. I'd already put in my papers at TCS, and then I took that job up. I loved it, okay, and I loved that job. I was working as a journalist, and but then I was working as a business journalist, so I used to interview a lot of these business hotshots, and having swanky cars and living in 5-star hotels. So I was thinking, maybe that will make me happy, so I decided to do
so
an MBA.
Money and a big house and swanky cars will make you happy. That's what I thought. Right?
That's what I thought, and I think within a year of starting to do the MBA, I was like, shit, that was a big mistake. But anyways, I had taken a big loan, and I had taken a big loan, and I joined the company that I did, and I was working there for 6-7 years. It will be a lie if I say that 6 years was not enough time to pay off the loans, and it will also be a lie that I was sticking around because of the package. I was sticking around because of inertia primarily. I was there, and after a point in time I got into a comfort zone. I knew the people there, and even though the work was not that great, not great in the sense not really creative, and I didn't really feel that happy doing the work, I stuck around because I knew the people, I was comfortable.
And the money was good.
The money was good, and I was spending it a lot. I didn't hardly saved up, and I took 6 years to pay off a loan that should have been done in 2 years. So, but yeah, at some point in time, I did start thinking that okay, this is also not making me happy, and now I'm looking at getting into a field wherein I'd be able to apply the little managerial skills that I have gathered, and be able to write and connect to people, and I'm just hopeful that this will make me happy.
Sudha, how important is the pay package to you? I know it is important because at the end of the day we need to earn our bread and butter, but it's also a little more important than what it would be for JP.
Yeah.
So how is your equation with the pay package?
I think for me it's very important. Okay, I'm quite opposite to what we just discussed, because I'm kind of used to a certain lifestyle, right? And I would definitely want that to be, I would want my daughter as well to live in that lifestyle, and it's extremely important. And for me, it's very difficult to just say this, like whatever they said, I will give it up, and then I'll be happy with what I have types. No, I love travel. I love even traveling on work, right? And I love the role that I'm in, and I feel a sense of accomplishment in the boardroom when I've done a project great, or our clients are really happy or satisfied, and the reward for me is the pay which comes in, right? But at the same time, my previous role or my previous job that I was in was extremely demanding, and pay package was really good, no doubt in that. But I was not having time, to be with my daughter, right? So then I took up this thing, but I didn't compromise again on the pay package, but then I kind of bargained to say that I would need some leeway where, I can work from home on certain days, I can spend time with my daughter and stuff like that. So for me, it's like a little opposite to what they say. It's great that they have done this, but then for me, it's just not possible.
So branded clothes is not what you're looking for?
No, see, at one point in time, when I was working, it was all about, really nice silk shirts, Satyapal ties, the works, really, good leather shoes, the works. Now I'm like, meh, I'm the guy who has socks clearly saying the right and left, and still I've mismatched it, okay? So, It doesn't. For me, as long as I'm comfortable, because earlier on, a brand would make the biggest amount of difference. I wanted to be seen in the West. Now, no, not so much. I wear, whatever I've got. If I want something else, I just go buy it, and that's that. And I never think twice about whether this is branded or not. For me, it's like, is it comfortable? It looks okay. Sure.
So I'm not saying that brands are important to you as well, but I'm just wondering, and forgive me if this is a very personal question, but I'm wondering what do you do with a hefty pay package? What do you do with that money? Because the money goes somewhere. Shopping, traveling. So what sort of travel do you do? Where does that money go?
Okay, so first, I'm not in that hefty package yet. It's a long way to go, but I hope I get there. I think I spend a lot on travel, right? And I would ensure to stay in a really good place, if not like a 5-star, but then at least somewhere near that, right? And then comfort, okay, that's very important. Then not for myself, but at least for my daughter, I try to buy the best of the things, right? I know I spoil her, but then that's what I do. And then I buy a lot of books. I love reading as well, so I do that, and gadgets and so on. So that's where it goes.
Chidanthan, we'll come back to you. In the last 6 years, but I'm assuming that the first 2 years you were happy with your work life, and later on you started questioning your career. So, do you think you missed out on anything important in the last 3 years or 4 years?
Yeah, there is a sense of, more than missing out on anything, there is that sense that you're not putting your time to the best of use that you want. Right? You are working hard, but you're not working hard towards anything. What is the reason to live? That is a very big question that I don't know if it haunts everybody, but it does haunt me a lot. What is the reason to live? And at my current role, wherein I was working, wherein I'm just going to quit, I didn't feel that I was fulfilling any. I wasn't having any purpose, or I was just going to work, dousing fire and then coming back home. That's how it
social life, how was your social life?
Social life per se was good. There was nothing that I missed out on social life, because the company where I work, the company becomes your social life. So now over the last 6 years, almost everybody that I know, all my friends, not just in the city in which I am based out of, but in cities across the country, are my colleagues and ex-colleagues, and I meet them. So that's my social life. I wouldn't say, and they're very interesting people, so I wouldn't say that I've missed out on the social life front much. I'd say that I have spent a lot of time working hard, but not towards anything, and that probably was what.
So coming back to both of you, an argument, a very easy argument can be that because you are single and there are no responsibilities in that sense to sort of support a family, it's easier to have a kind of lifestyle that JP, let's say you choose to have. Should tomorrow you decide to get married, and my husband and I can write a book on why you shouldn't get married. Should you do decide to get married and you have the family and the works you need to support, do we see you going back to your corporate life?
No, never.
So you don't really want to have a steady stream of income? Or?
It's not that I'm trying to be a vagabond or someone. I've never been dependent on anyone. I've taken pride in that. Whatever I earn for myself, and I'm fine. Now let's take the situation that I do fall in love, get married, and we add to the population problem of India. At that point in time, would I go back to a corporate job? No. I would be basically working on something by myself. Now, with whatever I do, I try and ensure that, as I said, never be a burden. Now, if I'm getting someone in, she would know the kind of person I am when she gets married, And I'm not going to change that just because I get married or I have children. But no, I wouldn't be shirking my responsibilities either. Within what I do, I will ensure that I cover what needs to be covered. It's easy to say that, that because of the kind of lifestyle, or because the two of us are single, we can do what we want to. But I have known people who are married with children who are able to do the same thing. And they do those things because they are passionate about it, and they know that a corporate life would not suit them in the end. They'd be extremely unhappy. And if I go back to a corporate job, I'd be really unhappy. I'd probably piss off everybody within the first week, because I have a habit of speaking my mind. I don't tend to sugarcoat too many things.
That will definitely get you into trouble.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we move on to the audience, so that is one question.
I have a different answer.
Please, yes.
I don't think I know what I'll be doing a year or 2 years or 3 years down the line, and I personally feel like I do not know about others, but I feel that I am very fickle, and in the sense that what I expect out of life can keep changing, all right. And 6 years back, if somebody, or when I say graduated out of my B school, if somebody would have suggested that you just go out there, start on your own, and you like to write, so you write, I wouldn't have done that because it seemed very scary back then. Right now, it does not seem so scary, and I feel that I want to do that rather than work in a corporate. 3 years down the line, if this does not go well, and if I'd be honest with myself. That's all. That's what I'll say. That if 3 years down the line, if I want to join the corporate world again, why not? I mean, of course, I'd have to take a salary cut and stuff like that. But if that's what I want to do, then your past decisions shouldn't hold you back, right? You keep evolving, and your choice, what you want to do, also keeps evolving with time. And as long as you are honest with yourself at that point in time, I think that's good enough. There's no.
So I get your point. What you're trying to say is that we need different things at different points in life, and it is okay to go back and forth.
Like you said, that if I get married and what I expect out of myself, I mean, I have seen so many friends of mine, so like super ambitious in the sense of what they want to do, how they want to live their lives, get married and have kids, and then their perspective about life and things changes completely, and what they expect, and suddenly the kid is what matters the most to them, and that's all right. I mean, we all evolve and change with time. And
so I get this point. A lot of times we think passion is a hobby, but maybe it's not a hobby. Passion can also be your love for high-end fashion, or it can be your love for super bikes, and that requires you to pay loads of money to even get that. So that's where basically you're coming from. So maybe to Chirantan, his passion is writing, but to you it could be something else. It could be traveling by planes and staying in hotels which are close to 5-star thing, and that's your passion.
I could be sending your kid to a great school.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I can't help but ask this one question to you. So if you are offered a part-time job with half the salary or maybe even less, will you consider taking it up? Because it will mean you have your money and you also have your me time, because right now you don't have too much of a me time. You are an AVP with a leading company, so you work more or less as much as Chirantan does, about 12 hours, and you are a mother. So there is no me time. So if you are offered a part-time job, would you consider that?
No, I would definitely not consider that. Though, as you rightly said, I absolutely have zero me time and then close to zero social life, right? But then the sense of satisfaction that I get after I come back from a great meeting or some great day at office, there's just nothing to compare to that, right? And it's not possible for me to take any kind of a part-time job or have a pay cut or so and then sit, because I'm overly ambitious there at my workspace, right? And it's like in my previous job, I was the only woman leader. So most of the time when I go to the boardroom, it's just filled with men, and I would just love that, to be very frank. I would just love it because you know that you're making a difference, right? And that sense of satisfaction when I get back home, there's just nothing to beat it. And
so it's happiness at the end of the day.
Right,
what
it's definitely happiness.
So are there any entrepreneurs here? Because with entrepreneurs, it's very different. I mean, there's a lot of work-life fluidity that you see. It almost challenges the work-life dichotomy. You are following your passion. So how's it?
Well, it's interesting that you said, will you take a pay cut? Because I took a 30% pay cut to do what I do here, and I moved like to another country, and I think I did it because I wanted work in startups that will help poor people.
So can you give us details? So from which country did you move on, like, and what do you really do?
So I have roots in China and in the States, and so then I decided to come here last year after I was working at a nonprofit that helped waste pickers. And then I got like an offer to be the CTO of a company here that incubates startups. So I start startups like every 6 months. And a lot of our startups are to do with farmers, truck drivers. A lot of times I'm going to like pretty crappy areas to work with people. I'm trying to understand, you know, like I'm Malayali, and Kerala is a pretty lucky state, honestly. But I'm going to Kolkata and I'm going to Kashi, where people don't really have a lot. And I think that's why I came out here to do that. But in many ways, I think also my choice is different because I'm 25 and I don't really have like, a lot of commitments. If I'm going to do something like this, it's probably now. And on top of that, I have pretty awesome relationships with my family and my friends. So I wasn't too worried about that. And on top of that, I don't necessarily care, I think, about having a huge social life.
So do you have a social life?
Not really. I mean, in many ways, like I work 12 hours a day and I work 6 days a week. And then the other times I'm not working, I'm either working out or I'm sleeping. So not really.
But you are happy with what you...
But I think like happiness is it's a pretty dumb goal, right? Like when am I happy today? Probably not, because I'm tired. Was I happy yesterday after I did something awesome at work? Yeah, I was really happy. Like I feel like happiness is a pretty fleeting goal. Like I think what I generally optimize for is there, like I have these principles in life, and every week I try and see like did I live my life to those principles, and when I see that I've done on paper, then it's like okay, I have like a sense of satisfaction. But it's not happiness. Like I feel like there's ups and downs every day.
Right. Do we have more entrepreneurs who would like to share the stories? Yes. Yep. So do you think you have it all, like you have a work and you have a life because your work is your passion? Is your work your passion, by the way?
Yep, exactly.
It is. So you think you have a life?
Okay, to be frank, I don't know how to put it when you say if your work is your passion. Because started from a small village where I grew up and came in. It's been like 10-12 years since I'm in Bangalore. When I came to Bangalore, the best thing I could do was get a good degree, and I got it. And then best thing we could do is get a good job, and I got it. Then we thought what to do. Then we joined a startup. We and this guy, we both are the co-founders. We wanted to experiment. Since we finished engineering degree, I am an MCA graduate, so technical, get into technical stuff. We got into technical stuff obviously in IBM, but didn't like it. But obviously everyone said, come on, technical, be technical, you are MCA graduate. But we wanted to try something else. We don't know if that's where we'll find happiness. But then we tried, okay, let's try sales. Sales is completely different than technical. Then we joined a startup and we were given a sales job. And we kicked it off. We liked it. It's more than doing sales, we like talking to people. Every time there's a new prospect, there's a new problem, there's a new discussion, there's a new negotiation. So I like solving those problems and trying to beat the customer every time and close the deal. And sometimes they win, sometimes we win because they beat us, they don't buy it. So it's one or the other. So this challenge every day you face, and every day you have each and every customer with different mindset. This is what I like.
Right, so you like the challenges at
every
work,
day, every day,
so
exactly.
That's what keeps you going. So it's not necessarily, people make money out of,
No.
I don't know, like climbing a mountain and becoming a guide and say, look, this is what I like doing and now I earn money out of it.
No.
So do we
Yes,
have
exactly.
one of those people here? You probably come close to it because I'm guessing you wanted to serve
Just
people
pretty much what I wanted
and
to do in my
being thing. So stupid question, but is there anybody who thinks they have it all? They have the time, they have the money. I said it was a stupid question. I didn't warn you. But is there anyone who thinks, look, I have it, I fairly have it all. I have the time and I have the money and I have happiness.
Doing what I'm doing, want to do.
Anybody? So we are all basically sailing in the same boat. So there is nothing called the perfect job, I'm guessing. So let's just revisit what they said about the pay package. Now we all know that pay package is extremely important. But is there anyone here for whom it's the most decisive thing? Like you look at the figure and then you decide whether you're going to take that job or not.
It's a filter. It won't be the most decisive thing, but yes, it's for me it will be around 90 to 95% as of now. I will look at the pay package, and because on the pay package basis itself, I will decide my next steps. Suppose if I'm working right now as an IT professional, but in future I have a lot of goals. I'm a very aspirational and very ambitious guy, and I'm really trying to do different things. So that will matter to me, because that will help me to achieve different things and to plan out those things.
Okay, and what about you, ma'am? You
Yes,
also
so
had something to
So
say.
yeah, it's a filter. You would not settle for a figure less than what you're making.
Alright.
But it's not the most important.
It's not the most important thing. Alright, are we all addicted to work here?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, a lot of times, so I get a feeling that sometimes we work not because of the money, not because it's something that we need to do, but we also use work as an escape route.
Yeah.
We are a good lot here because there are not too many people who agree to that, but either escaping from family, escaping from something that's at home, it's convenient. You know, there's something that's happening at home, you just go to work and you are just working like a robot because that helps you disconnect.
You find comfort in routine. So like,
Right.
if you don't want to, because you're familiar with certain things, and unfamiliar is where you're afraid, right? So if you're used to working, even if you don't like the work, but there is a huge level of comfort you find in going to work, and it removes your entire cognitive load. So you don't need to, you're thinking when you're working, but you're not really thinking beyond your work. You're thinking in that box every day, which is a very comfortable thing to do. You can be like, I relate to what he said. I was working in IT and still am working in ITC, but so the reason why you don't really these are tough questions. What else can I do? What do I want to do? These are not easy questions to answer, and it's much easier to do what you were doing. So in that sense, I agree completely. Your work will take all your energy, and then you don't need to worry about other things because you don't have time.
Some more comments.
I